Okay, let's take a look at some sine law notes. So you've got the sine law at the top of your note. Sine A is the formula A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C, or sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C, just mirroring it, or flipping both sides. Typically, we want to put what we're looking for on top. So then it gets into a little bit about what an opposite pair is. An opposite pair is an angle opposite of its side. Notice, use the sine law if you have an opposite pair and one other piece of information. Remember, we only sine angles. So let's take a look at the diagram down below. So let's draw that diagram. It's labeled BCA. Change it up if you want. C is 51 and A is 38. And opposite of opposite of A, side A is 4. Opposite of 51 is side C. We don't know. So we're going to use the rule. Let's go for A over sine A equals C over sine C, putting what we're looking for on top. Then we can substitute. A, side A is 4, over sine of the angle A is 38, equals C, what we're looking for, over sine C, which is sine 51. Now in the notes, I've typed stuff in the calculator, then I times those sides. Check out the notes, feel free to do it that way, or just times both sides by sine 51. And then on the right hand side, we have sine 51 over sine 51, so we can cross it off. So down the page, we can mirror it. C equals sine 51 times 4 divided by sine 38. C equals 5.05, whatever, round however many you want. So I should have given you units, but it's the same units as what we're working with. So again, that's sine law if we have an opposite pair and one other piece of information. So let's do that again. So let's leave B and A and C in the same spot, whichever. 7 opposite of B, 10 opposite of A, angle 30 at A. So again, we have an opposite pair because we have an angle in its opposite pair. We have to look for angle B because we only have information about B. So we can write that down. Let's put what we're looking for on top. Sine A over A equals sine B over B. Notice we're not using C like we did above. Choose the part that you need. Put what you're looking for on top. It'll just make your algebra so much simpler later. Okay, so let's substitute. So sine A's angle is 30. A's side opposite of the 30 is 10 equals sine B, we don't know, over 7. So this time we're going to times those sides by 7. 7 over 7 is 0. We can cross it off. I'm going to mirror it. Sine B equals, and we can type it into the calculator, 7 times sine 30 divided by 10. Sine B equals 0.35. Now that's not B. We've got to find B. B equals sine -1 open bracket 0.35. The inverse calculation that we learned in grade 10. And if we do that, we get an angle of 20.5 degrees. Circle your answer. Put an arrow to where it is in the diagram. I should have done that above as well. You could check your answer doing the sine ratio again to make sure that they're both good. And then eventually we can solve for the last angle by 180 degrees in a triangle. And then doing the sine law again. So as you can see in the notes, we've also done it the grade 10 way. Cut the triangle in half. I'm just going to check out the notes on the website. So, cut the triangle in half. Yep, it is there, so I'm going to bring it up on the right screen. So, again, sine law that we just did, and then the grade 9 way, 10 way. cut the triangle in half vertically, separate your two triangles, do a whole bunch of SOHCAHTOA. Or we just do the sine law. Again, we can do the sine law if we have an opposite pair and one other piece of information.